Warning: Kingdom Death contains mature content, be it in its story themes and or its images. While while videos involving Kingdom Death Monster may not contain specifically mature content in them, the game does, and thus, if these videos generate interest for it, you've been warned that that is what it will lead to. If this does not bother you, please enjoy the video. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing, or should I say unwrapping, video for Kingdom Death. Gen Con items. You'll see why unwrapping in a bit. So, this bag is, first off, this bag is the tote bag that they give out at the booths for buying stuff at one of their con booths. Generally, I think they just do Gen Con, but whatever. So, I didn't go myself, but my brother-in-law went and picked up some stuff for me. And honestly, this bag is pretty much an early birthday gift, so I want to thank not only my brother-in-law, but my sister and my two nieces. Because I'm willing to bet they told them to wrap. Not judgment on the pink polka dot, just would never surprise me if they went, "Girls, make this look nice. Make this look nice for your uncle." All right. So I know what some of this stuff is, because it was pointed out to me as my brother-in-law was getting it. But I don't know what all of it is, and I don't know what each and everything is individually. So let's go one at a time. Okay. So this one is, I believe well, first off, it's one of the resin models. So, this is the first one I'm showing on the channel. The resin models are the artistic-only models. There are no game mechanics. That generally, brown box models can be what they're also referred to as opposed to white box models. And they are many times the first line run, and sometimes are prototypes for things that later get put in the game. A lot of the big monsters that are upcoming expansions as part of the second Kickstarter are exactly that. So let's take a quick look. I believe this is the Sci-Fi pinup male Twilight Knight. Mouthful there, but whatever. So first off, it's got a little card that's got Kingdom Death on it with this interesting art. This is the collection card. The first runs always are blah out of blah, usually out of 500, as the card itself, while written on there, is the number it is. The 500 is actually printed on there. Sorry that it's kind of blurry. This is usually the same art at the lantern shield. It's the same one on the Before the Wall model. Awesome. And it's usually signed by Adam Poots, the creator of Kingdom Death, pretty much the overseer. Then we've got the art card. All the brown box models, resin or not, come with one of these, first run or not. And then we have the model itself. Ooh. So, lots of little pieces. Looks like the sword, the cape, the head. This will be really interesting to put together. Oh, and then a bunch of little sprue pieces. And then two pieces making up the base, like always, in the box itself. Alright, so there's the first thing. Next up is my next mystery thing. I think I know what this is from the sound of it. This was one of the things that definitely surprised me, though, even knowing what it is. Or likely knowing what it is. Yep, it is what I thought. It is the summer edition of the Kingdom Death dice set. So, what they do is they occasionally box up a season-colored theme dice set, and it's, both colors, introverted and not, and they have them for limited, while there's also the classic black and white versions, which is what comes with the standard game. Deal with the plastic here for a second. This box is constructed a little odd, but nonetheless, good knife. Takes care of it. Oh, I see how it opens. It's just like, I couldn't see the little thing that you can pop out. I was just like, is this glued together and not resealable? Which can be really bad for storage. So it always comes in a plastic tray, and this time it's an orangish-like yellow, still definitely yellow, and pink. So this is my first time showing the dice on my channel, so I'll just give a quick rundown. The game is a D10 game, and, you know, so 10-sided die, and it's standard type of die, except that the 10 is a lantern, the exact same image that was on the bag. And then for survivors getting attacked, when you get hit, your damage is random amongst 5 locations. This is a 6-sided die, but yes, 5 locations. There is a 6th location, but it can't be done with by this die. It has to be specifically targeted, and that's your brain. But there is your torso, your waist, your legs, your head, and or legs and feet, and hands or arms. Torso is on here twice, as it is generally the largest part of your body, so it makes sense. Alright. Next up, we got another one. Yeah, I'm going to do this for all of them. Okay, so we got a white box model. Aha! This one is the Sci-Fi white speaker. So, like I said before, white box models are generally promo cards in them, as well as the model. They're usually not first runs kind of things, but I could be wrong. So here's the model itself. I noticed the resin model wasn't on a sprue. That was really interesting. But it's, you know, quite a few number of pieces, as well as the base being 2, although they look like they're already stuck together. I'll get to those in a second. We've got the art card, which is always really nice. I'm always going to love the art from this game. And then we have 2 actual promo cards for the game, like gear. Promo cards, I think I didn't mention this in my previous unboxing video for King of Death, there's no way to conventionally get them in the game. You just gain them whenever. They're made to make the game sillier, more fun, harder in some cases. Like, a lot of these, I've looked them up before. It's the Blood Plasma Katana and Blood Plasma Gun. You take bleeding tokens, and at 5 bleeding tokens, 8 with a certain ability, I think, you just flat out die, no saving. And they both say, when activated, gain 1 bleeding token. And they do damage, I think, yes, they do. They have effects based on the number of bleeding tokens you have, so you can make some interesting builds with promo cards. Okay, cool. Let's close that up so it doesn't get everywhere. Next up, this one's just spilling right out. Looks about the same size, probably another white box. We'll see. Yep. Ah, this one we have next, the Twilight Night Detective. I think this is one that I didn't know I was getting. So let's see here. Had to actually cut that one open, unlike the other 2. Okay, cool. This one I know was made specifically new for this past Gen Con. So we got the sprue and everything, bases and stuff, like most of the Twilights. There is actually a sword in there, even though it's a more modernized look of the character. So here's the art card. We've got a pin-up, you know, police detective-like thing. And then we've got another 2 promo cards. You know, promo cards, by the way, are blue on the back, a very sky blue. We've got the Twilight Revolver and the Detective Cap. Now, like I said, I've read a lot of these because they do make them very clear. The promo cards are very clear on their website. I just want to read the Detective Cap's description. You must investigate you must investigate if a choice to investigate arrives. When you would roll to investigate, pick any result. If you are a returning survivor, leave your hard-boiled life behind and retire. Retire is an actual mechanic where the survivor is no longer usable unless certain things make them not, but I don't know them off the top of my head. Actually, I don't really know if they are usable again. Like, regardless. But yeah. Alright, so thanks. Again, let me close this real quick. I apologize for taking time with that. Next up, we have... Here, let's grab something that's shaped differently. This one's very similar in size to the first one, the other brown, the brown box model. So let's take a look. Is it brown? Is it brown? Is it brown? What can brown do for you? No, wrong brown, but yes, brown. Yep, definitely a resin model. I think this is the Sci-Fi Flower Night. We'll see in a bit. I didn't know that the brown boxes were that much smaller. I thought that they were the same size, which would be a little silly because, but then again, I expected the art card to be the same size, which I'm perfectly fine with the smaller one. In fact, this one, you know, I can then put on display easier, and this looks wonderful. And yes, it is the Sci-Fi Flower Night. This is a reprint by the looks of it, which, you know, perfectly fine. So, the Sci-Fi Night, or the Flower Night is an expansion in, that is, that he's the entire expansion. But he's it's one of those, here's a brand new campaign expansion, which some of them do, as opposed to here's just a monster or something simple. So this one has a larger base, and then has all the bits and everything. It's very much like, here's a sci-fi tech bodysuit kind of thing, not a look at me covered in sci-fi gadgets stuff. Awesome. There's more. Okay, closing that up. Aha! See? Tore right into the tape. Aha! Here we go. Other white box. This one I know isn't a Gen Con specific. It is Fade. It's one of the older ones, to my knowledge, and but harder to find at the store. So it's one of the ones I specifically asked for once I knew it was there. So as usual, here's the model. Fade is an interesting model, as I believe both a pregnant character and has a child on her as well. Childbirth and conception is really odd in this setting. I'll get onto that more once I actually have my copy of the game from the Kickstarter, but it's genuinely odd. So, drop stuff, but here's her art card. You can see the small child in the back. While the picture here doesn't look pregnant, the model does. So I don't know if she is or not, but it comes with 3 things. These ones are rare gear, and then this one is actually a hunt event. So the game is split up into 3 sections. The hunt phase being one of them. I won't bother with the other 2 for time's sake. And basically you take a step on a board every time, and sometimes you get a hunt event based on the monster. Sometimes you get a generic one. The base game comes with a bunch of these cards that are all the same on the front and the back, so that you don't know when these special ones are coming up if you get them and insert them. This one's called Baby and the Sword. I won't bother reading over this. I'll save that for a overview video, which I'm going to be saving those also for when I have the game, so that I understand the mechanics more thoroughly rather than just reading them off. But it also has the newborn, or an item, it's actually a baby, and the Sword of Silence. Makes me think of a certain song. Sound of Silence, that's what I'm thinking of. Next, we have more unknown. Definitely didn't know this one was coming. This is Percival. I believe she's got something to do with the Black Knight. Not too sure, but yeah, whatever. It's a very beautiful model. I've seen this model a lot in photos, but here's the model itself. It looks like there's two body pieces that look almost the same, but trust me, the detail on them is significantly, very clear. Here's the front, here's the back. Here is her art card. Again, very beautiful model. She wears armor very similar to the, I think it's the Black Knight. I don't remember the actual name. Black Knight is an interesting looking model because it's got very hound-like legs, but the armor is just entirely covered. So, as I was saying before, here's another hunt event. This one is called Dead Warrior, and here is a secret fighting art. So, I know in the case of both this and Fade's stuff, because Fade's items said rare gear, not promo, you put those in order to gain access to them via the hunt event. While they're still also promos and can likely mess with the balance of the game, you never know. So here's where I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if this stuff is Kingdom Death or not. Maybe. But let's see. Says Kingdom Death on it. Aha! It's a larger bag! Yee! Or maybe the same size, and that one just looks smaller because it was full. I'll compare that later. Okay, and then one more thing, which is also flimsy. Sorry, getting myself there. I can only see this part, and I can tell what it is already. This, my friends, is a t-shirt of the Oblivion Mosquito. This model has only recently had a finalized version shown. It was just before Gen Con, and it was also seen at Gen Con. I don't even know if it's actually finalized, but the Oblivion Mosquito is one of the upcoming expansions from the new Kickstarter, and I believe this shirt was, solely available at the convention. Before my usual outro, once again, I want to thank my family members, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my nieces for the early birthday gift, and also my brother-in-law, especially for taking time out of his busy time at Gen Con to go get this stuff for me. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will, feel free to share this. If you didn't like it, feel free to press that dislike. Don't worry. But please try to leave a constructive comment in the process. I understand this one went a little long for so few things, but hey, if that's why you don't like it, go for it. Also, feel free to leave a comment in general. Well, and if you'd like to see more like this, be it more unboxing videos, my board game overview videos with Kingdom Death should be coming soon, once it gets here, or any of my painting videos, which most if not all of these models will have ones, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and regardless, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!